worry about me. I'm just sending out some posts. Gonna try out these couple mods on this new mod region. It's a full 4-map region, which is pretty dope. Okay. Sending out the last post and then I'll get driving here. Okay, so what should I use first? So like I said, this is a full-on mod region. This is the Canadian Shield mod map pack. It comes with 4 maps. I'm going to start out exploring the first map here. It's called High Rock Country. But as you can see by the map here, there are 4 maps on the region. I just loaded in and I customized a few vehicles before starting up. And, start out by getting this watchtower over here. You know, I'm going to take a base IX5 just to show you guys what a base IX5 kind of handles like. Got to throw the orange on it for shits and giggles, because you know me, if you know any of my content, I like orange. It's always fun to test out a vehicle at its base level before, you know, modding it out and going to the fully upgraded version. Kind of lose some perspective sometimes if you just always upgrade a vehicle to its maximum level before you even try it out at its base level. But we can all attest to having played SnowRunner for long enough where it's always most fun once you level it up, but it's nice to have the perspective sometimes of a base vehicle and seeing how it can handle. It might not be the fastest or most exciting, but still fun. Again, checking out the Canadian Shield mod map pack. It's a 4-map region, which is very much welcome. Off-road rig, welcome to the chat, bud. Man, I'm trying out these streams, talking to myself over here. If you haven't checked out the Canadian Shield off-road rig, man, oh my goodness. I played it last night for like an hour or so and had so much fun on the first of the 4 maps. Again, it's a a full 4-map region. It's a little bit different from the other mod maps where it has only the regular amount of money that you would have when you start a new region. It doesn't give you maxed out money, which I actually kind of like. Starts you out with only 5,000. Hey Russell, thanks for joining into the stream. Much appreciated. Just got the first watchtower here on the Canadian Shield mod map region. And I am at a dead end, but that's the first watchtower here on High Rock Country. Again, the Canadian Shield region is a 4-map region. I haven't unlocked the other maps yet, but plan to maybe get there a little later. But yeah, when you start out in the garage, you only have 5,000. But if you have the DLC vehicles, I sold all my DLC vehicles that you would have at the start and had close to 500,000 and was able to buy a bunch of mod vehicles to play around with. But let's get into one of the more fun setups. This stupid little thing. The worst sounding vehicle so far. It's just the same rev noise looping over and over anytime you hold down the gas. There we go. Has my mic been on at all this time? Oh my god, I just realized that my mic was off, which is really dumb for someone that's streaming. But if you're just now hearing my voice, I have been talking this whole time to myself. I really hope that the fucking stream feature... Yeah, so you haven't heard anything I've been saying this whole time? Good Lord. Ah, that is so disappointing. It makes sense why there wasn't as much conversation in the chat then. I am such an idiot. Like, I just happened to stretch and I reached back and I touched my headset and I was like, hey, the microphone button isn't pushed in. Absolute idiot that I am. That means you guys didn't hear anything in the other map either. I really hate myself right now. Whatever, it's part of the learning process. I don't do this streaming stuff often, just getting into it. Oh god, I feel like an absolute idiot right now. Yeah, and I know it's no biggie, and that's just me personally being a nerd and beating myself up. But I just looked at the timestamp, and I've been streaming for an hour and a half now, talking to myself when I'm thinking I'm talking to you guys, trying to give these in-depth like descriptions. Like I've been going on a podcast over here all by myself, talking about the ins and outs of SnowRunner, talking about future sequels and what I'd like to see come out. And stuff. Like, I've been talking to myself for an hour and a half for no fucking reason. Ah. Ah, shit. Like, it isn't for no reason. Like, I thought it was for the stream, but it's hilarious that it was muted for the better part of an hour and a half. Oh, boy. Well, Ian, I've been talking to you quite a bit, but you haven't heard me. If you're still in the stream, holy shit. Hope you guys have been enjoying me silently struggling then. Anyone that's actually been watching for any amount of time to my silent, just terrible gameplay, I appreciate you. Holy shit. Yeah, thanks, Ghetto Pirate. That's exactly the mindset I'm trying to have. Like, the realization at first was really frustrating, because, like I said, it's like over an hour of silent gameplay, where I'm trying to do the streaming, I'm trying to, you know, be talkative, and I've been responding for the whole time, and then to realize it's been over an hour of me talking to myself, it's like you said, it's comical. You just have to laugh at it. Oh, boy. But now I'm driving the Last Raider, a scout mod that while I was talking to myself, sung quite a bit of praise for. I really like it. It's not the most detailed mod, and has literally no interior, but the mod creator did specify that in his notes that it's something that he just doesn't have any care for, so he didn't make an interior. You can see it brings you back almost to the MudRunner days, which I kind of appreciate in a weird throwback. Like, the wheel doesn't even work. It has no detail, but it's a beautiful mod nonetheless, and it's a Land Rover, quote-unquote. Not a real Land Rover, but it's a Land Rover. And we have it in SnowRunner now. An hour and a half. Whew! Man, so that entire time in the other region, the Canadian Shield, I was explaining how it was a 4-map region and how I would absolutely love to see a lot more mod creators if possible. I know it takes a lot of work to create mods of this, especially of this detail and size. But if you watched any of the previous map that I was on the Canadian Shield mod region. It's 4 full maps. I went around in the IX5, the M10, this new side-by-side, used a whole bunch of different mods on that map, testing them out. Oh man, so that means I was completely silent while I was struggling through the sand pit area. Oh god, I was talking so much. You guys didn't hear anything. You just watched me silently struggle, if any of you were watching that. Oh my god, that is so funny. My friends, I have a bunch of friends that play SnowRunner regularly. Like, they're gonna have a real good laugh when I tell them about that later. Oh my god, that is hilarious. I apologize, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that again in the future, but oh my god, that is sad and hilarious at the same time. You can do it, Landy. You can do it. Oh god, I didn't think I was actually gonna get that. Yeah, this map is awesome. And I've only explored, you know, a little bit of it. Trying out this trail. It's a new one that he added in with the update. I haven't done it yet. But like everything else, it is super technical and tough. Oh yeah, that's awesome, Ghetto Fire. Yeah, a lot of people wanted, especially, you know, the IX5 being a Jeep lookalike. That is really exciting, but people have definitely been asking for Land Rovers and stuff. It's a little bit disappointing that copyright issues or licensing becomes such an issue where the traditional base game itself can't really have vehicles like this due to those issues. But now that we have mods and they're able to modify them enough where they look enough like the real thing, but they are modified in a different way so it's not exactly a replica, allows us to enjoy it here on consoles. This mod, I will say, is a little weird where I don't know if the creator put a lot of the weight down low or something, but it definitely, it almost lands back on its wheels more often than it should. Whoa. Alright. Ha! Hey Ian, welcome back. Yeah, well, you're back, and I had the mic off for the first hour and a half like an absolute fool. So anytime you were watching earlier, it was silent, I'm guessing, because like 5-10 minutes ago I touched my headset and realized, oh, my microphone was off that entire time in the other map region. See? Sometimes it's not about power. You take it down to a lower speed, and then it'll actually hold the grip a little better instead of just throwing it in low-high and hoping it'll just claw its way up there. Yeah, I appreciate all the modders too, Ghetto. I can't imagine the amount of time and effort it goes into making some of these mods, especially the higher detailed ones. It's got to be so crazy and time consuming. And the maps too, for that matter. And I know there are ways that they get compensated for like per downloads and stuff, even for the public mods, but I mean a lot of them really make their money off the private mods, which unfortunately are PC only and we won't see on consoles. But yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, time, and tears go into making these type of maps that we're now able to enjoy for free, and absolutely appreciate all the time and effort that those people put into making those. Especially when they're maps and vehicles that turn out like this. Like, I mean, this Land Rover is beautiful, and this map is absolutely unreal. Generally on these trails I don't even throw it in automatic because it almost gets me in more trouble than it's worth. I just leave it in low, take off the diff lock, and then just slowly crawl through it. Because as soon as you put it in automatic and start going fast, you encounter another crazy turn like this one, and you just need to take it low and take it slow. Turn on the diff lock when you need it, and then just turn it off when you don't. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh god, crisis averted. I thought those driver's side wheels were getting a little close to the edge, and they almost completely fell off there. like the drop off on, like if I had just, you know, gone off the edge a little bit over there, like that is a huge mistake where you aren't getting back up here. Like you have to earn your spot, and like I was saying to myself earlier while the microphone was muted, like you're never safe anywhere on these maps. Anywhere. You get lazy anywhere on these maps and you get absolutely screwed. Like you pay for every mistake that you make on these maps. Like me right now trying to talk while driving on a technical terrain, like now I've got myself in a little situation. You can do it, Land Rover. You can do it. Let's turn it back to some more daylight. Yeah, and yeah, there aren't really any winch points up here to save you. That's a good point there, Ghetto Pirate. There really aren't. I mean, there might be some that he's kind of placed for fun to maybe help save you. But yeah, when you're up in these crazy mountain passes, there aren't really winch points to save you. I mean, how many trails are there like this where I've been driving for easily 5-10 minutes up this ridge, and it just gets more and more fun. Then you look out there at the horizon, granted it's not great detail, but all those trails out there, all those trails over there, like right behind me right now on the screen, over there is where the new garage location was, or is, I should say, and the old garage is actually right at the corner of the Land Rover, back behind me where those rocks are, is where it used to be, but then they moved it over behind where I have it pointed now. And I believe that I have heard that this mod creator that made the TnB Trails map is supposed to be making it into a region eventually too, but he just wants to finish off this map and get it to a more complete state before he starts to incorporate other maps into the region. I might be wrong, but I think he's the same person that made the Bad Dingo map, or at least is associated with the person that made the Bad Dingo map. And Bad Dingo might get connected to this, which would be truly awesome, because that's another really, really great mod map. Ah, nice. So yeah, so you know all about this, Ghetto Pirate. Yeah. If I was to get lazy right now and make a mistake, you roll off that edge, you are absolutely going for a ride that is not going to be one you necessarily wanted. This is living up to the excitement and expectation, because I mean, he kind of set a bar pretty high before he updated the map and added these new trails in, because everything was already so incredibly technical and insane to where it's like, okay, there's a new trail. Let's see if it's as technical, crazy, and fun as the other ones. And like everything else, I mean, it might just look like a simple ridgeline trail from afar or looking at it by the map, but having played it now, like, this is just so much fun. And even though it's not rocks and I'm not having to navigate a lot of crazy stuff like that, even though it's just a dirt trail, it is so much fun. Hour and a half of me just not knowing I had the mic on. Ugh. I really do apologize again. That was my silly mistake if anyone was watching during that. And If you stuck through the silence, I truly appreciate it. That was my silly mistake that I'll definitely be more conscious of when I do future streams. It's not something I can do regularly per se, but I'm definitely going to do more often. I don't get as much time to play the game as I used to, like when the pandemic first went off and I was home a lot, working a lot more, and it's now snowboard season, so I'm out there on the mountain snowboarding, but when I get a chance to do some streams, I'll definitely do it more in the future. Can't believe no one said anything in the chat. Why is it silent? Is your mic muted? In that first hour and a half? I mean, it's all good. But that's just so funny. I'm gonna be kicking myself and laughing about that for a while. An hour and a half of just me talking to myself, even when I think that the microphone's on, but it was muted. That is just such a knucklehead move, but I'm still new to this. This is like my 6th or 7th stream, something like that. So it's a learning process. Did the trail just end there? Okay, so that's the end of the textures there. Then it kind of connects back up. So yeah, it goes down and connects there. Just the way that it just turns from like a dirt path into actual like dirt kind of caught me off guard. But again, this map is a work in progress. The creator is going to be updating it many more times, he says, to finish it off and flesh it out into a more complete map. Even though you can already play this map for hours and hours and never get bored already, he's going to make it even better over time, which is really exciting. Yeah, me too, Ian. I'm just learning all this stuff. It's interesting. It's fun. Like, I have a few buddies that do it and just kind of watch them do it a few times, watch some of their streams and how they do it. It is tough to kind of look at the comments sometimes while driving, being a driving game, but it's all good and it's a lot of fun. And I really appreciate anyone and everyone that keeps stopping by and watch the stream for a little while, or like you guys are communicating in the chat here. It's a lot of fun to get to know you guys and just shoot the shit and spread the love of SnowRunner. Just throw it in high. She'll claw her way up. Arrgh. I feel like Jeremy Clarkson right now. Power! Ah, see, got lazy, but I didn't roll it. See, and that's why Clarkson effect is not smart for SnowRunner. Like, this map just always gives you such awesome perspective. Like, it has so much height and different depth of view. Like, oh no, it's just, there's so many things to do, so many places to go, and the mod creator, like I've said a few times now, is just going to keep building and creating more and more on it. If you are on PC, he has his own Discord server and everything's set up to where you can go to his private servers and see his updates as they're in progress and give feedback and test them out with him. I'm only on consoles. This is a PS4 stream currently, so unfortunately I can't take part in that stuff, but it would be fun to see his work in progress and then be able to provide feedback to him and stuff and let him know what you like and don't like, or maybe make suggestions and stuff he might actually take into account, help make the map better. It is kind of a community effort. Alright, so I did this whole climb here. That was honestly a lot of fun. Even though it's, you know, like I said, just dirt roads and stuff, it's still so much fun. I almost used up my entire gas tank. Might as well, let's swap it up. Use something different. I haven't used this little guy around here. Let's take this little fucker. It really is one of the worst sounding mods. Like, this engine repeat noise is just terrible. Oh, did you look at that? Rolled it immediately. It just means I wasn't meant to go there. Literally. Anyone else using the side-by-side? Anyone like it? Not like it? Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, that's true. If he could update the roads and add rock obstacles and stuff in there too, that'd be pretty great. Man, I didn't actually think this thing was going to crawl up that. Alright. Like, that engine noise is just god awful. Just the same sound on like a 1, 2, 2 second loop over and over. I mean, granted, almost every single vehicle is like that too. Like, that is one big thing with this game. The engine sounds are definitely not essentially realistic or not really quality audio. A lot of the engine noises are just kind of, I don't know, just the same sound happening over and over because there aren't true revs in the game. Like, if they actually put a real gearbox where you could actually rev the engine appropriately, then the sound would match. But the way they have it now is like this weird hybrid automatic manual where, I don't know, the game just doesn't have a real true gearbox. That is one thing I know I hear and see a lot on the groups is people asking for real, actual functioning gearboxes. so we can actually shift trucks and keep them in gear in automatic the way that we want to, and it doesn't just slam it down into first gear when you just encounter a little bit of resistance. I know that can be definitely frustrating. Let's go get this watchtower. Holy shit. I don't know if it's gonna get over. Okay, alright. This little thing is impressing me. This is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I mean, definitely need to adjust the sound on it to make it more enjoyable, but this little thing will crawl. I mean, that's what it is designed to do, yes, but I just didn't think it would be as capable as it is. It rolls a lot easier than I thought it would, but it kind of makes sense given its shape and size. But this thing is fun, it just sounds awful. But it has the signature frog horn. Oh, bitch. High gear is not what you want on this map. I mean, there are certain times and places to use high gear and send it off some of these jumps, bridges and stuff like that. Not when you're trying to actually get a watchtower. Oh, you like the sound. I mean, I like the sound other than the fact that it's just the repeating. It's the repeating of the same sound, just like the same noise. I mean, I'm not hating on it completely. I like it. It's the kind of the burden of the sound of the game itself, where all engines kind of just are a repeating sound over and over. Just the way that this goes, it's just, it gets a little bit old sometimes. Or at least it makes that issue of the audio being a loop just that much more noticeable. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely something that could be improved on. Oh, of course. I almost like this more than Frog's Crawler. Sure, most of you that might be in the stream right now watching have used Frog's Crawler, which is kind of just a bigger version of this. But something about this is more enjoyable to me than Frog's Crawler. we get other crawlers too. I don't want Frog to be the only one that has one out there. Not hating on Frog in any way, just I want there to be other options for crawlers instead of just having the only one be that one. Oh, so he did Badlands on PC. Okay. I like how his watchtowers, when you get them, do long sweeping pans of the map too, compared to just the traditional circle that the base game does. Ooh, that looks fun. It just looks like a ridge. That just has to be crawled, does it not? Sure, a lot of you are like me when it's like when you see a cool feature or something like that, it's like, well, I have to go drive on it, right? Like that has to be done. Yeah, this is going to be a lot different than the big ridge line that I went across the other, like 10 minutes ago down on, yeah. So this one, maybe, and like you mentioned, Ghetto Pirate, like if he then enhances this trail to have like rocks and obstacles, kind of like what I'm about to drive down now, like you can see rocks throughout the trail already. So he might do something like that in the future with other sections. Make it a more aggressive crawl trail, which this looks like it is. Well, make the best of the situation, right? That's one thing that led me into playing this game so much, especially after it released, was when we were on lockdown. I played a lot more video games than I normally would. Got fully sucked in to SnowRunner when it first came out. Really haven't put it down since. Mixed in with rocks. That's crazy. There's just something about this thing and its little wheelbase. I don't know, something about it. I enjoyed this experience almost more than I do with the crawler. The crawler is definitely fun. Something about this, I don't know, it just feels different. Almost feels like an ATV. Like if he just converted this and made it into, or it'd have to be even smaller to be an ATV, but not by much. ATVs would be fun in this game. Whoa, standing up on the tree. There we go. fits right through. Haha, nice. Feel like I'm in a little off-road go-kart. It's actually really fun. I'm enjoying this thing more and more as I use it. So I started from right here, and we're here. I wasn't sure for a second there if I was following the right trail. It looks like there's a little break off that comes down here, goes around, drops down to this little warehouse down here. But I'm going to follow this whole ridge line down here, down this way. This thing is much more enjoyable in the low gear because I don't hear the engine as much. Which, again, it's not like a huge gripe, it's for some reason more noticeable on this than it is on other vehicles that have repeating engines. Just a crawl. I didn't want to go straight over that, but this thing had other ideas. I was trying to turn and go uphill to just navigate around that, but I'll take crawling straight up and over. There ain't nothing wrong with going up and over. The grip on these tires seems to be a little bit better than some other tires, especially mud tires. But it is a mod after all. That's steep. Imagine having to come up that. What the hell would you use to come up that? I bet this thing is going to flip over on its nose going down this. Alright, just on its side. Minimal damage. Not the smoothest drop down, but I didn't really scout it out beforehand to see how steep it was. This right here is really why I love these maps, like actual technical crawling trails. That's something that we've been wanting dire in the base game, and one of the reasons I love the Yukon so much is it has actual like aggressive terrain that you can just spend hours just trying to find the funnest section of the map to just see if you can crawl it, see if you can climb it, you know. That's the essence of these games, just open world, exploring, free roaming fun. Like what I've been doing for the last 2 hours here on this stream. I haven't done any contracts, I haven't done any tasks, I haven't made any money or experience. But I am just having the most fun I possibly can, just out here exploring and trying new mods, trying new vehicles, trying new maps. Like, that is what these games are all about. Fun open world exploring. I hope we get more mods like this little guy. We can have all the mods that are like that. That is absolutely welcome. These kind of mods will immediately become some of the most downloaded quickly. I guarantee that. And this is just the beginning, folks. Like, I know some people are complaining about the lack of selection on consoles, but we already have almost 100 mods on console, and the feature has been out for a month. I mean, like, that's unreal, realistically, because with all the speculation and hype leading up to mods coming out, we didn't even think it would happen. Like, so there was a large part of the community that was dead set on the fact that it would never happen after the history that we had with MudRunner on consoles, but that's beside the point. I mean, we weren't sure, we were never really given an exact release date, we were never told that, like, hey, it's actually going to happen. From the developers, they kept being, you know, hush-hush with everything. I fucking rolled. See, and that, like I was saying earlier, you make one mistake on this map and you pay for it. Good lord. So much for that trail. It was fun while it lasted. Started to get on my soapbox about console mods and the history of everything, and then I screw myself over. Yeah, that's not getting out of there. Son of a biscuit. Okay, on to the next one. Haven't used the 110 yet on this map. In this stream, I should say. Let's see if I can get back up there. Maybe do some crawling in this bad boy, huh? And you guys use the 110? What do you guys think of the 110? It's a mishmash hybrid of like old school Land Rover models. In a way, almost somewhat, you know, not really, but somewhat looks like a generic pickup truck. Satisfies some people's needs for having a quote-unquote square body in the game, even though it's not, you know, a traditional square body by any means, but it's something. The high gear is kind of weird on the Yeet box gearbox I have on here, which actually realistically I should not have for what I'm bringing this out here to try and do, but oh well. This map is not really a map for the Yeet box, but sometimes you just gotta go full send. Oh shit, oh shit. Looking at the screen while driving, looking at the screen while driving, and then it just lawn darts in the ground. It's not done, folks. It's not done. Oh, I was hopeful it might end up there. Sometimes you just gotta let gravity just do its thing. And eventually, if you're patient, you can ride it out. Alright, let's try that again. I didn't want to try and really mess with the winch points because for some reason the mod creator on the 110 decided to put them only on the roof and not on the frame of the bottom of the door frames like it usually is. So if you flip this thing over, it's like a turtle. It just doesn't want to get back on its wheels at all. That's one of my only gripes with the 110 is the winch points, but it's a minimal thing. Good lord, this thing is squirrely as shit. I do wish, that's one of the things I wish I had a steering wheel for. Like, I know with a controller, it makes literally controlling the vehicles a little bit tougher. Like, having a steering wheel and being able to actually make precise adjustments and, you know, drive the vehicle the way it should be would be such a better experience. I already play the game so much as it is. I can't really justify getting this steering wheel. I mean, yes, the amount of time I put in the game can justify me getting a wheel, but I got nowhere to put it in my small ass apartment, unfortunately. Whoa. Whoa. Come on, don't run. Yank it over, yank it over, yank it over, come on. Oh, okay. All right. Good lord, I thought I wasn't going to get that. That would have been disappointing because as soon as this thing actually ends up flipped over, it is just way too much effort than it's worth to try and get it back on its wheels. Especially if you're on the flat area. If you're on a hill and you can let gravity help you out, sure. But other than that, no. Might as well just recover. Even when you bring another vehicle to try and winch it back onto its wheels, it doesn't even want to do that most of the time. Have to have a crane to lift it up. Alright, I made it. Take a little drink of my coffee and I'll see how this thing can crawl. I should have a different gearbox on it, but it'll still make it most of the way. I do apologize again for anyone that was watching the first half of the stream when I had the microphone muted for the better part of an hour and a half, but I'm learning this streaming stuff. It's new to me. Growing pains of a silly stoner. But yeah, let's see how the 110 crawls through this section. See if I can at least make it as far as I did with the side-by-side. Let's get a little daylight in here. Rolled it immediately. That doesn't look right. A little glitchy, little glitchy, little glitchy, little glitchy. What's going on here? Clipped into the rock, clipped into the rock. Okay, 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 okay. Oh god. We got ourselves a situation. Yeah, that's not good. The 110 has been consumed by the earth. Yeah, not gonna be able to fix that one. I don't think. Come on, I don't want to take 10 minutes to drive back up here again. Oh yeah, it's that passenger wheel. It's like clipped into the rock. Yeah, that passenger wheel's completely clipped through the rock, so it's stuck. I didn't think I'd actually even get it started back up again, but I don't think I'm getting this unstuck. That isn't, you know, something that can happen with mod maps and a lot of rocks and stuff. Yep. She's screwed. I tried, but she's screwed. Yeah, much respect, Ian. Much respect, man. Yeah, I'm gonna just cut my losses and recover this thing. That was silly. But I can put the grabber gearbox on, which is what I should have been running in the first place. Actually, let me roll around the JBE International, huh? Everybody loves JBE. Legitimately probably one of the best mod creators, at least has some of the most enjoyable mods out there. I put the big tires on it in the tall lift kit, so it is actually a terrible setup currently for what I have on for this map, because taller lift, large tires, especially when it's a stiff lift like this, she's going to be prone to roll. I did try out that new IHC Lodestar 1700, and it was decent. I think I still prefer the JBE International Lodestar over that new IHC Lodestar mod. They're both good, but the JBE definitely has a lot more detail to it, and a lot more bed frame options and stuff like that, where the IHC really just had a flat bed, and then the traditional bed that you see that I have now. But it doesn't have like the cool features like the little LED lights on the runners and stuff like that, or like the repair points up on the roof. Features like that. I really love those features that they added in for the Lodestar, and other vehicles like having repair points attached to the roof. It's just such a nice, smart thing that, you know, a lot of traditional real-life off-roaders do. Is, you know, you put extra repair points and shit where you can, or repair points, but in real life it's actual just repair gear and supplies and shit. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, a tweak on the F750 would be nice, but unfortunately I don't think we will ever see mods of the F750 or any other DLC vehicles, because DLC vehicles apparently have rules against them being modded, especially DLC vehicles that are licensed. So unfortunately, stuff like the F-750 or any of the, like the two cats, like we won't get modded versions of those. I'm pretty sure they can do it on PC, but they have to be private mods, they can't be public. I'm trying to be careful in here because there's no trees to save me if I roll. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works with DLC vehicles and modding, unfortunately. Nice, I was trying to get to this section here. So JBE might not be great on like technical trails, but it'll be fun on this little track they have built out here. There goes the suspension. So you get everything on this map. You get long, technical mountain trails, but then he also has this kind of makeshift like racetrack. There are open and sweeping trails. Take the bank turns. Full send, baby. We're as close to full send as we get in SnowRunner. Because unfortunately still, like if you're traveling around through these sections in vehicles that aren't modded, like vehicles just can't really get enough speed to actually like make it over the jumps. Why would it be able to start like that? There we go. Alright, crisis averted. If you got a nice modded vehicle, like when the first time I was really checking out this map, I was using the Titan, and unfortunately the 4x4 Titan, as awesome as it is kind of limited with its top speed, which is disappointing. The 6x6 Titan is actually a little bit faster, I found, than the 4x4 Titan, but if Frog was able to make that a little bit faster, like that would actually make it a lot more enjoyable for stuff like this, because you take it around like this section of the map and it barely gets any air off some of these jumps. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Now she's a low rider. I love riding those wheelies off hill crests and stuff like that. I was able to do like a wheelie stand with this JBE Lodestar in one of the videos I posted on my Maine MudRunner Facebook page. You guys might have seen that. But I actually like stood it up, and it wasn't like, you know, the cleanest thing, but stood up and held it up in a wheelie and rode it out for like 10-15 seconds. It was pretty fun. Absolutely love these JVE mods. The LED highlights that he puts subtly on some of the mods, it's nice and tasteful. It's not overly obnoxious or anything like that. Oh, he did upgrade the engine even for the 4x4 Ghetto. The 4x4 Titan has a faster gearbox now. I'll have to try that out. I haven't used the 4x4 since it came back from being repackaged into one mod with both 6x6 and 4x4 together. I just want to get at least halfway around this and hit one of the big jumps that I didn't get much air off the first time. If you come around from this angle, you can get more air off of it. Provided you're driving a vehicle that can get the speed and get the air. There goes the suspension again. Damn. But she can still move. She don't need a suspension. I think I still have repair parts. And crisis averted. Oh, and he added a heavy bumper. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to check out the Titan again. I didn't have it activated because I ran out of space and I was trying to use the other mods, but I'll definitely throw the Titan back on here and test those out. That's exciting. I haven't tried the Yeet Mobile around this track. I'm sure that thing could get some air off these jumps. It's a love-hate relationship with that Yeet Mobile. Like it's silly and kind of dumb, but it's pure fun. But it has so much power that it's almost uncontrollable sometimes. I can do stuff like that all day in this game. This section through here is really fun. It is a really fun technical mud pit crawl section that snakes through this racetrack here. And you definitely do not get through here nearly as fast as I was just going through those jumps in that little race loop. And just like another awesome little touch that he has on this map where it's just really technical, aggressive terrain that makes you have to work for it. Oh, don't roll, don't roll. All right, there we go. I love trails like this, just snaking back and forth, up and down. Angle changes constantly, but he's at such deep mud, soupy mix in between everything. It's just constantly reading different variables and changing as you go. Good Lord. The soup of the soup through here. Holy cow. Gotta put it in that low gear. Go. Man, I know I already just said it, but I love trails like this. I can do stuff like this all day. Yeah, the Yeetmobile does sound real good, ghetto. The engine sound is pretty aggressive. It is just such a silly mod, though. Now we're right back out on the track. It's just this short, tiny little trail. Takes up the smallest little section of the map you can imagine. But, I mean, it just provided like 5 minutes of pure fun. Looks like there's a watchtower up here. How about we go get a watchtower? Huh? I think this is how we get it. Let's see if it's even close. Like I think that's the one that's above the first, or where the garage used to be. And if that's the case, I don't know if I'm getting up there with a lodestar. Yeah, because it's at the top of that hill up there. I ain't climbing up that lodestar, I don't think. I'll try. Running out of repair points. We'll see how far I can get before I run out. Even these small side trails are just aggressive. Love it. I think I just missed a turn. Yeah, I missed a turn. Oh well. That's the beauty of SnowRunner. You can make your own. Okay, I was right there. Actually, instead of trying to go up and get in that watchtower, because it'll take me 10-15 minutes just to climb this hill, even if the Lodestar could, which I don't think it can because of the current setup. I'm going to see if I can climb the arch with this thing. If anyone is familiar with this map, they know about the arch, the archway that goes over the river under the waterfall. Is one of the coolest, most technical features that you can crawl on this map. Looks like they made a road. I don't remember that road. But yeah, that's the arch there. My buddy Daniel, when he first showed me this map, that's the first thing that he took me over. We had the Titans and we crawled through it. It was so much fun. Now I could take the normal trail down, but where's the fun in that? Let's just crawl down the river. No. That is the difference I'm noticing is just this suspension is so much more rigid than something like the Titan. Because I've done this before with the Titan and it just kind of, the way the suspension flexes so much on that thing, it just kind of flexes its way through where this is kind of bouncing its way through. No! No winch points available. Son of a biscuit. Well, so much for that. Hey, thanks for joining in. Mom gang. Wherever you are. I've been playing this map so long now that everything is all spread out. Oh no, there are no repair points on this vehicle. This one's botched. I got dead suspension. But thanks for hanging out, Ghetto. I really appreciate it, man. Much appreciated for the subscribe. That means a lot. Actually, I want to change. I think I have. Yeah. Let's change the color on this. Orange is generally my favorite color to use, but this map is kind of orangey. Let's go with blue, huh? Nice dark blue. Looks good, huh? I'm gonna take this up to that trail that I rolled the side-by-side on. God, I can't play in first person on this map. Especially with this thing, the butt end tends to go out on it a lot. Like the back of the IX5 tends to want to take over the front. And it almost like power slides a lot on its own, which is a little annoying, but... And unfortunately where I'm using the controller, it just jumps around whenever I steer. It's such an aggressive back and forth. For anyone new that's watching, I'm on the TnB Trails mod map on consoles here. I'm on my PS4 streaming. Taking out the IX5 to do some rock crawling once I get up to the trail. This is by far my favorite individual mod map so far. It has everything from these fun cliffside, like regular road trails, to narrow dirt path road trails that get super technical, and then they have full-on extreme rock crawling trails. It is a work in progress mod map that the creator is constantly updating and adding to. This section that I'm on currently is one of the new sections that they recently added in an update after they moved the garage to a different location. But it is by far one of the best looking as far as views, but easily the most fun as far as technical terrain that really makes you work for it. You have to earn everything on this map. If you get lazy like I just did and you make a mistake, you're going down deep into the ravines. There's so much variation in between vertical shift on this map. It's so much fun. But you make a mistake and you pay for it. Like I just did when I looked at my comments to see if there was a comment. Ugh. This thing is a bit squirrely. Just kind of dances around a lot more than other vehicles. I think it's partially due to the short wheelbase. But it has a lot better winch points than the 110 like I was just recently driving. The 110's winch points are atrocious. It makes it so hard to turn it back over, but this mod for some reason likes to end up back on its wheels more often than not. We're almost up here to this technical rock crawling trail. It's up by that watchtower up there. But it's a lot more fun than just this plain road here. This road, I understand, can be a little bit boring to watch, but just using it to get from point A to point B. Ah, see? That's what I get for trying to cut corners. See, it's just like rule number 1 in SnowRunner. Shortcuts don't generally lead to good results. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times it's just going to make you roll. Alright, so I just need to get here. I thought I was like, oh, I can just go up and over that hill. It'll be nice and quick and a little bit more interesting than the road I was driving on. But no, you're gonna roll. You're gonna take a shortcut, you're gonna roll. Alright, here we go. Now we're back to the good stuff. Some rock crawling. That's what I get for looking at the comment section while driving. I have so much more appreciation for other streamers now that I've tried it out myself. Like, you're trying to drive along, but also trying to keep a conversation going, or see if anyone's dropped a comment so you can respond or see it. And then you take your eyes off the road and just go fucking sailing. Roll it. Well, found the thick stuff, Jesus. Well, that's where we're gonna end it, folks. If there's anyone still watching, I appreciate you for hanging out and watching. But I'm gonna end the stream now. Take care. Bye-bye now.